push as we head towards the middle and latter part of next week. Perhaps a repeat of the rain we got. SFO talking about rain coming down hard as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday, Friday of next week. Mark?
And some breaking news now. Typhoon Hagupit has officially made landfall. This is north of the Tacloban area where Haiyan did so much destruction. So Tacloban getting affected, but not necessarily as directly hit. It is northern portions of that island seeing the brunt of the storm right now. Updates when we come back.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The holidays go high-tech with Holidays in Space at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Join us for an out-of-this-world take on the sights and sounds of the holiday season now through January 4th. Visit tourksc.com for details.
Each year, 17 billion toilet paper tubes are thrown away. Enough to fill the Empire State Building. Twice. Toss the tube for good with Scott Naturals Tube Free.
Average women's tees versus a gawking gopher. Duluth Trading Longtail tees versus a gawking gopher. The Duluth Longtail tee. 2 extra inches to defend your back end. Get one. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Ah, the bold new Camry. You can get a great deal during Toyotathon.
I love the new look.
And it's a blast to drive.
Oh, so you've driven it?
Yeah, I've taken it for a spin.
Toyotathon is on. Get low 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the bold new 2015 Camry. Offer ends January 5th. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, Toyota's no-cost maintenance plan.
I know a great place for a drive.
Toyota, let's go places.
From restoring damage in just one room to an entire building. Turn to the cleanup team that's here in your community and here to help at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
My job is so hard on my hands.
The cracks were the worst part.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
There was a difference within just minutes of it absorbing into my skin.
Only O'Keefe's has given me the relief that I need.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
Nexium 24-hour. It's the purple pill. The #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand. Available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
This holiday season, remember to give back to your companions. Petco can help with thousands of gifts on sale, including 50% off select dog and cat beds. Plus, earn 5% back with Pals Rewards. Joy, love, pets. Petco.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Block 19 on. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
What do astronauts eat?
Have lunch with one and find out. Only at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Meet real astronauts, see Space Shuttle Atlantis, and experience firsthand the future of America's space exploration.
Well, breaking news right now. Landfall of Typhoon Hagupit has happened in the Philippines.
Yeah, we want to bring in Dr. Greg Postel, who's been watching this tropical system all morning long. Doc, what are you watching now?
I'll tell you what, it's very difficult to figure out when and exactly where this. You've got conflicting reports all over the place. The satellite pictures are confusing. Sometimes the map projections underneath them are mixed up, and there's no close radar sites. The observations at the surface are not there to give us confirmation. But with all that in mind, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, at 9:15 p.m. local time, 8:15 Eastern time, the center made landfall near Dolores in eastern Samar Island, and that would be about an hour and a half ago. Right now, the satellite pictures are showing still that perhaps maybe the center of circulation is nearby as it slowly moves on off toward the west. So there are some places that are reporting official landfall, and as I said, there is a lot of uncertainty still on exactly where that center is. Nobody knows for sure. On the satellite pictures, there it is. It's a big blob of a nasty tropical cyclone still, with winds probably in the Category 3 equivalent range, over 100 miles per hour, somewhere close to 120, 125 miles per hour. Just for reference, there's Tacloban right there. That is the city that got hit very hard by Haiyan, November of 2013. The worst of all the weather has passed likely north. That doesn't mean the weather's bad, not bad there. It certainly is. We've had reports of west winds just to the south of there at 75 miles per hour. That was a couple of hours ago. So destructive winds are certainly all up and down the island of Samar, and that's going to continue for a couple of more hours at least. According to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, at their latest update, it was at 125 mile per hour winds. Again, these are all done by satellite estimates, so they could be less than that by 10 miles per hour, maybe a little bit more than that by a few miles per hour. Those are just the best educated guesses that we've got. And this is where this is going to track Typhoon Hagupit as it continues to move off toward the west-northwest like that. And we think that by late on Sunday, it may get very close to Manila. So bad weather is coming to them, no doubt about that, with lots of rain, perhaps some storm surge in the islands still, and flooding rains and destructive winds potentially over 75 miles per hour. I'm going to send it over to Paul now with more on the weather. Paul.
All right, thanks, Dr. Postel. Well, back here stateside, hey, good morning, Norman, Oklahoma. This the site of Bedlam later on this afternoon. Oklahoma State is in town to take on the Sooners of Oklahoma, and clouds definitely in the forecast for this big-time rivalry in state. In fact, look at the forecast for the game. Temperatures staying in the 50s. There we go. All throughout the game. And by the way, Oklahoma, well, we have won 9 of the last 10 Bedlam Series games. So Oklahoma State, they're definitely playing for pride. Hopefully they can go in and beat the Sooners. I just cannot root for the Sooners. That's just in me. I just cannot do that. All right, other championships going on. The Conference USA Championships going on in West Virginia. The Thundering Herd of Marshall versus the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. Rain for this game all afternoon long for that noon kickoff. And then inside the Dome, the Georgia Dome, the SEC Championship tailgaters. Rain this morning, rain in the early afternoon, then clearing, and temperatures start to cool off tonight for whoever will be celebrating this victory. Again, I can't root for either team here. I got my issues with these teams. And in Waco, it's not a conference championship, but definitely has impacts on who could play for the national championship. Baylor with 1 loss versus Kansas State as well. Temperatures dropping off to the 50s as we head past that 6:45 local time kickoff. And then the ACC championship, undefeated Florida State dealing with rain today in Charlotte as they take on the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech coming off of a great win last week against Georgia, but Florida State undefeated. Let's see if the rain impacts either one of these teams. I still think Florida State undefeated. You got to beat the best to be the best, so my money's on them. Mark?
All right. Thanks, Paul. And a powerful winter system headed towards the East Coast to kick off your week. With it, freezing rain, sleet, and snow are all possible. Dr. Greg Postel will be here to take a look at this upcoming winter storm. Plus, we go live to the Philippines.
Toenail fungus? Don't hide it, fight it with new FDA-approved Jublia. Jublia, efinaconazole 10% topical solution, is a prescription medicine proven to treat fungal infections of the toenails. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor. Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Fight it! Ask your doctor now if new Jublia is right for you.
While we may never know exactly what the weather has in store, one thing we do know is how to be ready for it. Rain-X Original Treatment repels rain, sleet, and snow. Rain-X wiper blades clear the windshield without streaking. Together, they give you the confidence to weather any kind of weather. Rain-X, outsmart the elements.
Golf's past 2 decades have been the most unique in the history of the game. Now, in a commemorative edition, Golf Channel chronicles the icons, the moments, and the trends that will influence the game for decades to come. Just in time for the holiday season, the Golf Book is the perfect gift for every golfer on your list. Order yours today at golfchannel.com/thegolfbook.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
From residential to commercial, from large loss to emergency response. Whenever damage strikes, call on the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
In the nation, misfortune doesn't take a holiday. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide and we'll replace stolen or destroyed items with brand new versions. Making sure every season is the season of giving. Just another way we put members first. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
You do a lot to keep your family safe at home. So make sure they're safer on the road. See farther, wider, better. Upgrade to Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
The clock is ticking, so let's grab the list and go to town. You don't need a lot of this to make someone feel like that, especially if you give them one of these. Holiday to-dos? Let's get them done today at the one place that can help us bring it all home. That's How to Holiday. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Buy a combo kit and get up to $150 toward any cordless power tool, radio, or battery.
I take Prilosec OTC each morning for my frequent heartburn. Because it gives me zero heartburn.
Prilosec OTC, the #1 doctor-recommended frequent heartburn medicine for 9 straight years. 1 pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything.
When you give someone a gift, do you get this face or this face? Because if you get in this face, you're definitely a bad gift giver. So give Fandango and get this face. And get this too. Ooh, you love Fandango, don't you?
Fandango. Give better. Movie tickets, trailers, celebrity interviews, and showtimes. Find it all at Fandango.com.
The Conference Call, the ultimate arena for business. Hour after hour of diving deep, touching base, and putting ducks in rows. The only problem with conference calls, eventually they have to end. Unless you have the Comcast Business Voice Edge mobile app. It lets you switch seamlessly from your desk phone to your mobile with no interruptions. I've never felt so alive.
Get the future of phone, and the phones are free. Comcast Business, built for business.
Call right now. To order your Lipozene, call 1-800-997-4948. That's 1-800-997-4948.
Tomorrow night.
Get down now!
Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9, premiering tomorrow on the Weather Channel.
Hey, check this out. Take a look at how winter is taking hold in parts of China. Blowing snow has been so heavy that many people weren't able to get out and clear the streets for a while.
State media reports that snow resulted in the deaths of hundreds of livestock, and it also damaged crops and hundreds of houses.
You know, that snow was actually made in China.
Like everything else.
Everything else,
yeah. Of course, that leads us into our winter weather update. So for that, let's go back to Dr. Greg Postel in the lab.
Mark, Paul, thank you guys very much. We're looking ahead now to early next week, actually beginning as early as Tuesday and lasting a couple days for a winter weather event. No doubt about that for the East Coast. It really looks like, though, as we've gone through the last day or so with these forecast updates, that the coast is going to be mostly rain with this. You're going to have to go inland to at least get a mixture of rain and snow, and that would likely be on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and then farther inland or the higher elevations to get the most significant snow out of it all. Wednesday, the map essentially looks the same as it did Tuesday. Again, this is a slow-moving system, but pretty strong enough to bring some warm air in off the water, and I'll talk about that in a second. And that's why we're going with a lot of rain along the coast, the I-95 corridor. Maybe on Thursday, some of that snow tries to work its way a little bit eastward as the system moves away into the Canadian Maritimes, but that would be on the back end. I still think it's looking more and more like a high elevation significant snow for New England rather than anything else. Earlier this week, the models were all over the place. Like if I made this plot for the jet stream on Tuesday, the models were doing this, they were doing that, they were doing that. Nobody had any idea what really was going to happen. Now they've come into a consensus, a pretty strong one, and you can see it's got a south wind. That means at jet stream level that the system that develops in a classic way here off the coast early next week, that system that ultimately is triggered by this thing coming out of Canada, that thing is going to be moving northward and inland. That is not a track that you want for snow along the coast because of all the warm air that is going to be drawn inland. And when you add it all up, guys, this is what we've got in our forecast. The heaviest amounts will be inland, and we think at elevation, whereas right along the coast, not so much. Mark and Paul, back to you.
Thanks, Doc. And of course, another big story we're following is Typhoon Hagupit making landfall a short while ago. This storm could end up displacing millions of people in the Philippines.
Yeah, a lot of people are now turning to social media to check on the loved ones out there who might be in harm's way. Our Bonnie Schneider is monitoring that for us right now.
Well, Mark and Paul, one of those people that we've been talking to is Jedrick Remonde, who reached out to me earlier today on Facebook, and he's actually in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where he has been living just a short amount of time. He's from the Philippines, and he lives there with his wife. But what's interesting is he has plans to fly to the Philippines tomorrow morning. Jedrick, I know that you've been in touch with your mom, and she's in the Philippines, and you've been communicating with her via Facebook. How is she doing?
Yeah, she's doing fine. We're chatting on Facebook right now. And she said that there's wind already that's going on, and they're preparing already for this big storm.
Where your mother's located is the same place where your wife's family is. Can you talk about where that is? I know that it's south of where the storm made landfall.
Yeah, we are living in Cebu, and my wife lives in there too. It's just the southern part of where the big typhoon is, but they will still be hit by the typhoon, and it's in signal number 2 right now.
You know, last year we were talking about Haiyan and how the track was different, so I imagine that storm actually impacted them more when you're looking at where the landfall was.
Yeah, actually, last year, because they were prepared and they were told by the public officials, they were actually in a safe place, and then they prepared the food and non-perishable items. So they were told by the public officials.
Does your mother and your wife's family that you've been in touch with via social media, do they have enough supplies in case they don't have power for days?
They've prepared the food and stuff, and then my wife's relatives and family in there, they actually evacuated the place because they lived close by the river, so they actually are in the school grounds, which is higher.
Oh, that's good. So they're at a higher elevation. Well, Jedrick, I know that you have a trip planned tomorrow back to the Philippines. I wish you a safe journey, and that to your family as well. Thank you so much for joining us via phone this morning. Well, stay with us. We're going to have a lot more coming up on Weather Center Live. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, slight chance of a rain shower. High 78, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now, rain rains up and down the East Coast. So don't let this happen to you. Man, that is a bad day on the road. Hydroplaning a real danger. We'll show you who could get as much as 2 inches of rain.
And in beautiful Asheville, North Carolina, we've got some clouds and some scattered showers, and the breeze is picking up. What's interesting is what this system might mean in days to come for parts of the Northeast and millions of Americans.
That's right, Reynolds. In fact, we do need to warn you about the strong possibility of another winter storm in the making right now. You're looking live at New York City, one of the places that could be affected, how wide-ranging this storm could be, and when it could affect your town. That's right here, right now on Weather Center Live.
And welcome back to Weather Center Live. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. We want to see what you see today. Send us pictures of how the weather is affecting your plans and your weekend plans, just like Wayne Capelli did here as well. He says definitely some clouds out there, and he'll be shooting a lot of clouds around the Monterey Bay area, all thanks to the rain that's been coming into California. And looks like he will have some sunnier skies as we have this weekend before more rain heads on towards the West Coast.
The clouds really make that picture, though. It's good that there's some clouds out there. He's trying to capture that, and he gives you the contrast. If it was just all blue sky and blue water, it wouldn't be as good a picture.
Could be some kelp there on the ocean, or perhaps a sea otter, or maybe a seal. Again, lots of wildlife out there on Monterey Bay.
Of course, some of the messier weather, harder to photograph, is heading towards the East Coast. A soggy setup for the East. Boston, New York City, Philly, D.C., all in the mix today. Some areas could see 2 inches of rain, widespread readings up to an inch. So a bit of a washout for some of your weekend plans, although maybe that's good news for the malls. Everybody heading indoors and doing some of that holiday shopping, trying to get some of those deals that are still remaining out there. It is going to be a wet weekend here across the East. We'll start off by taking a look at where we're seeing that rain right now, and that is here across interior sections of the Northeast. Some pretty steady rains from West Virginia into central PA, upstate New York. A little bit of snow mixing in if you go far enough north or far enough inland. Buffalo is reporting snow right now as well. The Cincinnati area is seeing some steadier rain, and also we can follow this line all the way down to the southeast. So this has some tropical connections, and Paul's going to talk about that southern side of the storm in just a second. But here's the view from above, right? This is the area of low pressure that's instigating this mess. The mid and upper level moisture indicated here, the pinks and the blues, especially the higher amounts of that moisture. And so really filling in now towards the nation's capital in the I-95 corridor. And speaking of D.C., it has been very rainy. This year has been rainy. We're more than 4 inches above average. But if you feel like the calendar turned and it hasn't stopped raining, well, you're right. December, you have picked up a trace or more every day so far, and today will be no exception as we're going to see that rain moving into your area. In fact, let's use one of our high-resolution models and time out this rain. It's knocking on the doorstep in D.C. already, and as we put this into play here, the afternoon, those showers move in, and once they get to D.C., it's going to be very hard to get rid of them. Similar story in New York and in Boston. Maybe a little bit of a changeover right before this precipitation shuts off by the end of the overnight hours. Your morning on Sunday should look a lot better. That said, there's going to be a lot of rain, up to an inch here through the mid-Atlantic, maybe up to 2 inches as we get towards the Cape, and a very soggy setup. One last look at D.C. for the day. Rain right on through. Paul, over to you.
Well, speaking of rain, Mark, there is plenty of rain stretching all across the southeast. So for many, you're probably watching us in bed. You don't want to get out of bed. But rain also coming down right now in parts of North Carolina. So we send our own Reynolds Wolf to Asheville, North Carolina, where Reynolds, I know you had rain earlier, but rain is still in the forecast throughout the day.
You got that right, Mr. Cool Breeze. We've certainly had quite a few showers that have been moving through, and the wind has actually picked up for a time or two, too. I'll tell you what, though. I don't think it's going to keep too many people from going out and about and enjoying this site. You've got the Biltmore Estate. You've got all kinds of beautiful Christmas scenery, decorations all over the place. It's pretty nice, so you're going to see plenty of that. What you're also going to do is meet some interesting people, and we met some very interesting people a short while ago. Take a listen.
There's something for everybody here.
Yeah.
Yeah, every kind of person, every age, and everyone's so nice.
Well, except for some. I mean, we've got this guy.
The weather, it's dreadful. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, you're dressed for the occasion. You got the top hat, you got the cloak. I mean, you're winning in that regard, aren't you?
Of course, young man. Well, how else would you dress?
Absolutely. Well, are you warm enough? You don't seem like you're too bundled up.
Oh, yes, these are quite thick.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
we like to keep our ladies healthy.
And now those are all players. They're actually part of the A Christmas Carol play that is actually going to premiere tonight here in Asheville. But what great people. And certainly it's going to be a pretty nice day. However, it's what the system is going to mean for people in days to come. That could be troubling. Now let's send it back to Paul in the studio.
All right, thanks, Fred. Again, rain moving back into Asheville throughout the morning, but let's take a look at the radar, actually a live picture right now of Atlanta, where plenty of rain across the region now, and we got a big-time game going on. The good news is we got a dome to play it in. Talking about the SEC Championship later tonight, so we expect the rain to move on through by game time. Won't impact the game, but it will impact tailgaters. Let's take a look at the radar across the region. Also dealing with some rain across the Atlanta area. Temperatures pushing up towards 60. Again, today Atlanta will be your last day of rain for a while. Also your last day in the 60s. We had several days this week in the 70s, but this should be the end of this unseasonably mild weather as cooler air comes in, as a cold front is pushing this rain out, but also pushing in some cooler air as well. So let's take a look at the scenario here. Plenty of moisture ahead and along this cold front being drawn into the northeast, as Mark talked about. But as this front clears the coast, it's going to stall out, and that eventually could lead to a mess across the northeast later on into next week. But let's talk about the southeast right now, because today we'll have scattered rain showers pushing on through. But as that cold front pushes in cooler and drier air, we'll slowly start to see the rain end, the streets dry, perhaps even a few breaks of blue sky later on this afternoon and into the evening. And then we'll start seeing some cooler and sunnier weather for the rest of the weekend and into next week across this region. So Atlanta, the rain sticking around probably just until lunch hour. Then it should clear the entire metro area as we head to this evening. And then the skies clear. The temperatures will start to drop as well. So not an entire washout of your day. Birmingham, again, you're all seeing some rain showers probably through about the lunch hour, and then we start drying up as well. Your temperature is starting to cool down as well as we head on towards Charlotte. Yeah, we got a big-time football game here. The ACC Championship tonight. We got rain showers, probably a better chance of them lingering into the evening hours before tapering off right around or just before the midnight hour. And you also have some cooler weather as well. And Knoxville, rain showers scattered as we head through the afternoon and evening hours, but our temperatures will be falling off to the 40s as we head on through this evening. So again, talking about the big-time game for tailgaters, rain showers in the early afternoon hours, but then dry and cooler as we head through this evening here in Atlanta. Mark?
And a lot of that rain will be drying up for all of the East Coast by the end of the weekend. But for folks, there's another winter storm on the way. We're going to give you the updates on the winter weather hazard next.
For most people, earning cash back ends here at the purchase. But there's a new card in town. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back when you buy and again as you pay. That's cash back twice. It's cash back with a side of cash back. The Citi Double Cash Card, the only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase, with 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Is the all-in-one, go-anywhere snacking solution that's sweeping the nation. Snackies really is the ultimate snacking solution. Now you can have your favorite drink and the snacks you love all in one cup. Snack easy with Snackies. Safely sealed, so great for kids. With Snackies, it's clean and easy. Snackies controls the mess. You can get yours online or at any of these fine retailers. Must be 18 years or older to order online.
Snackies! Say hello to the new weather.com, a beautiful new design with weather as the main story. The information you need, the site you rely on, the brand you trust. The new weather.com, the final piece in the Weather Channel redesign. The Weather Channel, it's amazing out there.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tomorrow night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9, premiering tomorrow on the Weather Channel.
Lips are your thinnest skin. They need special attention day and night. New Chapstick Dual-Ended Hydration Lock provides 24-hour care. SPF protects by day, natural oils replenish by night. Chapstick, put your lips first.
Here's our new trainer, Ensure Active Heart Health.
I maximize good stuff, like my potassium, and phytosterols, which may help lower cholesterol.
New Ensure Active Heart Health supports your heart and body so you stay active and strong. Ensure. Take life in.
Hugging a tree and average women's flannel. Hugging a tree and Duluth trading free swinging flannel. Duluth free swinging flannel. Moving made easy. Flannel made fetching. Get it. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Support both mental sharpness and physical energy with Barocca, proud sponsor of Mind and Body.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, where we are following the images coming in from the Philippines. Typhoon Hagupit has made landfall in the Philippines. People are preparing for this one. Remember, just a year ago, we had Haiyan move through the area, so that's still fresh in everybody's minds. A lot of people taking the storm very seriously. The shelters are packed. The higher elevations are filled as people have moved away from the coastlines. The impacts are real on this one, that's for sure. It looks like landfall occurred on Samar Island, well north of the Tacloban area, near Dolores, about 2 hours ago or so. And right now, we want to go to NBC's Jim Masita. He is joining us on the phone right now with the very latest, as landfall occurred just south of your location, which means you're in the brunt of things. Jim, thanks for calling in, and what are conditions like where you are?
Yes, my pleasure to talk to you guys. The conditions right now where I am, which is in Legazpi City, as you said, we're just north. We're in the province called Albay province, which is just north of Samar, and Samar was indeed hit at about 8:15 a.m. Eastern, 9:15 p.m. my time. By the way, so far, no reports of any storm surge or casualties, but it needs to be underlined, the Philippine Red Cross is having a very difficult time just communicating amongst their own people. Ruby was forecast to veer up towards us, as you say. It hasn't really arrived yet, though it's quite windy and quite rainy. It's still just the outer edge of the storm. It's really supposed to hit Legazpi tomorrow during the day. So far, not much here. People are staying inside. The streets are really deserted. Of course, Legazpi was not hit badly last year. It managed to escape the destructive path of that super typhoon Haiyan. But now people find themselves in the crosshairs. And again, it's strange to see that, or to learn that so many people are staying still inside their homes, just waiting this out. And why they do that, it's unclear. Some say they're afraid of looters. Others say that it just can't happen to them, a state of denial. But the bottom line is that there could be casualties, even fatalities, just because people have refused to flee here. Back to you.
All right, Jim, thanks so much for the update, and we're going to rely on you to keep sending those in throughout the day. Paul, back to you.
All right, thanks, Mark. Well, let's talk about a storm that's brewing here for the Northeast. Today, maybe a few rain showers, but the concern is what happens in about, say, 60 hours to 72 hours. As we see, a cold front pushing offshore as we head throughout the day will stall out. And then along that, we could see a storm system develop with the help of energy from the upper levels, diving down from Canada, also ushering in some colder air again. It's going to be cool, but some colder air with this system will help set up a scenario for some snow. But this storm system, because it's going to kind of track close to the coast, will bring in some milder air. So along the coast, more of a rain event. The interior, we could see a little snow and a mixture of rain and snow. Then again, on the backside, a hard crash to some heavy snow. Again, the elevation, inland areas, that's the best chance of getting the decent and sizable snowfall. So as we head towards Monday, rain showers start moving across the area, some snow in the interior, and perhaps a mix as well, especially in some of the valleys. We head towards Tuesday, a lot more warming across the I-95 corridor, so rain for you, but again, a little mixture as we head towards the interior. Then as we head on towards Tuesday night, the cold air comes back into the backside of the system, and that's where plenty of mountain snow comes through, and perhaps a little mixture as well. But the heaviest snow will be at the higher elevations and away from the I-95 corridor. We're talking about, the kind of the snow that might be measured in more than a foot in some locations. Mark?
So in interior snow, that's for sure. Plus, we're still following the tropics. Typhoon Hagupit has made landfall in the Philippines. Mudslides, flooding rain, storm surge, all a concern.
A little more tree.
A little more snow.
A couple more reindeer.
A couple more bows.
Another dozen cookies just in case the neighbors show. A little more joy for Christmas. Just a bit more garland so my stairway looks divine.
Another nutcracker so the kids don't fight this time.
Why stop at 3 wise men when the mantle fits 9? A little more joy for Christmas.
she's still the one for you. And Cialis for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment is right. Cialis is also the only daily ED tablet approved to treat symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
Say hello to the new weather.com, a beautiful new design with weather as the main story. The information you need, the site you rely on, the brand you trust.
For over 100 years, members of the Taylor family have been privileged to help families honor their loved ones. I'm Carol Taylor Block, a fourth-generation member of Taylor and Modine Funeral Home. Gathering old photos helps share a story and recreate a life well lived. From the wedding to the first child and on to their graduation, the cycle of life flows. A grandchild's wedding, meeting the first great-grandchild. A traditional funeral or memorial service to celebrate a life well lived.
At Seaside Palm Beach, we recognize that you may have other obligations in your life. When you're here, you'll be able to bring your laptop. We encourage you to bring your phone. We don't want you disconnected from the rest of the world. Where other treatment centers will not allow you to have these things, we know that you have a life, but we're going to help you live that life better than when you came here. Your transition from chemically dependent to chemical-free will be as painless as possible. Seaside Palm Beach, please come see us.
And even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
Tomorrow night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9, premiering tomorrow on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by LL Bean. 100% satisfaction guaranteed and free shipping every day.
From I wonder what it is to you'll never guess. Everything we sell at LL Bean is backed by the same rock-solid guarantee of satisfaction. So while they keep guessing what's inside, you can rest assured that they can always take it back or replace it. That's just how we're made. LL Bean, guaranteed to please.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, where we continue to follow the exploits of Typhoon Hagupit here across the Philippines. Lots of rain, lots of wind. That is a certainty with this storm.
And let's look at it sort of from the bigger perspective in the globe view, because this gives people some kind of orientation about what part of the world we're talking about. Really, there's China, Taiwan. This very powerful typhoon still, Hagupit, is now, we think, inland or very close to the coast of Samar Island in the Philippines, and is going to, over the next couple of days, continue working its way northeastward toward Manila and may get there Sunday night Eastern time. So bad weather's on their doorstep too.
And just to explain some of the verbiage you are using there, depending on if you're using a radar or a satellite to determine where the center of a storm is, you get different views. Sometimes the map projection underneath those images is a little bit off, and they're islands, so they're very small. There will be several landfalls here. But it appears that one landfall may have occurred now. But what really matters is the impacts, and those aren't changing. There's not enough land here to break up the circulation. We're still going to see lots of wind and rain over these islands.
That's a great way to put it. And Jess, you know, we can go back to the map here, and I can show you that this is the kind of difficulty that Mark was articulating, that we don't really know. No one knows for sure when this made landfall. There are some estimates, in particular by the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, that it made landfall in 8:15 Eastern time this morning, or 9:15 local time there, PM, right about here. Right, but there are no observations to really confirm that. The satellite data is confusing, as is the radar, which there are none anywhere near there. So I guess it really doesn't matter, but we know that very bad weather is occurring all across this region, including in Tacloban, where likely hurricane-force wind gusts are occurring right now.
So it's nice to say that landfall happened, and we're saying that it probably did at this point. Yet the impacts are the bigger factor here, and we can time out the model run here, this high-resolution model, bringing this in and out of many different portions of those islands, and bringing that wind and rain along with it.
We're going to have storm surge, probably up to 2 meters, maybe more than that in some places. We're going to have maybe a foot of rain in places, and winds perhaps up to hurricane force, even in Manila Sunday night.
All right, a lot to follow from the Philippines. We'll be live there in the next hour. Paul, back to you.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, Christmas less than 3 weeks away, and one way you can get in the spirit is by decorating your yard. Here's some great ideas in this week's Home Depot Project of the Week.
The arrival of the holidays always brings a lot of joy, but also some questions, like real or fake when it comes to your Christmas tree.
Definitely fake. But we are making it out of real wood. We're making a wooden Christmas tree for your yard.
That'll work. How do we do it?
Well, we're going to start with some plywood. So technically it is a pine tree. And then we've put a pattern on here in the shape of a Christmas tree.
It's very neat. Did you draw that?
I did, but I did cheat. I used a template. But if you want to freehand it, have some fun and be creative.
And what do we use to cut this out?
We're going to use a jigsaw.
All right, now that we're done sanding, what's next?
Now we're going to actually attach the stake. We're using a 2x4, and I've put a point on the end so we can drive it into the ground.
Oh, looks great, just like a tree, but not very festive.
That's where the lights come in. So starting from the back, we're going to lay out our holiday lights in the right pattern. Then we're going to mark where the lights are and drill holes through the wood. But first, let's go ahead and put a coat of paint on it.
After our 2 coats of paint have dried, now it's time to put in the lights.
After the lights are in, you can also add a little bit of bling to the tree.
Yeah, very nice.
Spruce it up, if you will.
But we have a pine.
Just roll with me.
You ready? Oh, it's beautiful.
That's awesome.
That was easy.
It probably is going to be the easiest Christmas tree you put up this season.
And next year.
And probably the year after that, too. This is fantastic. Great job.
And whether you're trying to do a project and make a tree for your front yard, or you're just trying to, take in the season, there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend where weather's involved.
Definitely. A lot of outdoor things going on, especially in terms of festivals. Check this out, the Beer and Cider Festival. Take your choice. Hey, try both.
They're both wet, and the rain will be there as well.
But some warm cider might keep you warm.
It's true.
And the Tree Lighting and Fireworks Festival in Albany, New York could see some rain dampen some of the fireworks.
Yeah, I don't know if the fireworks are going to go off, but the tree lights will.
Project of the Week is brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
The clock is ticking, so let's grab the list and go to town. You don't need a lot of this to make someone feel like that, especially if you give them one of these. Holiday to-dos? Let's get them done today at the one place that can help us bring it all home. That's How to Holiday. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Buy a combo kit and get up to $150 toward any cordless power tool, radio, or battery.
At
Panera Bread, our hearty, all-natural turkey chili is back in season. Slow cooked with turkey raised without antibiotics. Tart tomatillos, chilies, carrots, edamame, and more. The savory spice of the chili pairs perfectly with the black bean hummus and the fresh crunch of Napa cabbage blend in our Southwestern chicken flatbread. And it all comes together in a You Pick 2 made just for you. Only at Panera Bread.
Warm up with Panera Bread's Southwestern chicken flatbread with all-natural turkey chili.
Seatbelts, headrests, and airbags help you survive a crash. But if you upgrade your headlights, you may even avoid one. See farther, wider, better. Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
We got this one. We got Pepper. Did he help pick it out? No, he's a cat. Is this mine? That one's for Alice, but she doesn't know it yet. Why not? Mom says she's still cooking.
Capture your memories with Hallmark keepsake ornaments.
Each year, 17 billion toilet paper tubes are thrown away. Enough to fill the Empire State Building. Twice. Toss the tube for good with Scott Naturals Tube Free.
Fact. When you take Advil, you get relief right at the site of pain, wherever it is. Advil stops pain right where it starts. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
I haven't seen this before.
There's never been a time where the North Pole couldn't keep up.
Nice of the owner to let us use his factory.
These WeatherTech people make pretty good elves. For people.
This holiday, give WeatherTech floor liners. They're laser measured to perfectly protect your specific vehicle. Check out all of our automotive accessories at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. Complete protection, completely American made. WeatherTech.com.
Hey! You got a set for the sleigh?
Say hello to the new Weather.com, a beautiful new design with weather as the main story. The information you need, the site you rely on, the brand you trust. The new Weather.com, the final piece in the Weather Channel redesign. The Weather Channel, it's amazing out there.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9, premiering tomorrow on the Weather Channel.
Man, what a mess in California. Welcome to Weather Center Live. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. A piece of that California storm is now bringing rain up and down the East Coast. And now it's affecting the weekend plans for millions of Americans. And we want to see how how it's happening to you. In fact, thank you to Rick Felton sending in this photo from Morgantown, West Virginia. And he says, yeah, it's raining, and hopefully it's not going to impact his plans today.
Yeah, he said that he had errands to do and was planning to be out and about. Well, as long as you got that umbrella as you run from the car to the store, I guess you'll be okay. But it is going to mess with some plans, and a lot of you are rethinking those plans because of the weather.
In fact, we do have rain up and down the East Coast. Our Reynolds Wolf is out in the middle of it. He is in downtown Asheville, North Carolina. And Reynolds, I know you had rain earlier, a little break, but it is not done here for North Carolina.
No, it certainly doesn't look like it's done with the Tar Heel State. It looks like we're still going to see the clouds, and we're going to feel those raindrops coming down. The wind, well, that picks up from time to time, too. One thing that has been picking up across parts of Asheville are a lot of the tourists. We're actually here in Biltmore Village. Beautiful setting. We've got all kinds of Christmas decorations. You see the tree behind me. You see, again, the video, the horses making their way through there. The 2 horse-drawn carriages. And we've had quite a few shops, many shops out here for the tourists and for the people doing that last-minute shopping. Something else we have are some interesting characters. We met a few about an hour or so ago. Take a listen.
There's something for everybody here.
Yeah.
Yeah, every kind of person, every age, and everyone's so nice.
Well, except for some. I mean, we've got this guy.
The weather, it's dreadful. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, well, you're dressed for the occasion. You got the top hat, you got the cloak. I mean, you're winning in that regard, aren't you?
Of course, young man. Well, how else would you dress?
Absolutely. Well, are you warm enough? You don't seem like you're too bundled up.
Oh, yes, these are quite thick.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
we like to keep our ladies healthy.
You know, we're all going to be Ebenezer Scrooge when we see what may unfold as over the next several days, because part of this system that we're dealing with, part of this instability, can actually feed into a larger scenario as we make our way into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, maybe even in parts of Thursday for much of the Northeast, potentially affecting millions of people. So from now until then, we're going to watch very carefully, not just here in Asheville, but across the nation. All right, guys, that's the latest we have here from the Tar Heel State. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Reynolds, try not to say bah humbug too much out there in the showers. And, of course, a lot of you are echoing those sentiments, right? Pittsburgh, you're seeing the rain coming down. Nashville as well. Up and down the East Coast, that chance for showers will be with us. Up to an inch in both of those cities. And you know what? The East Coast rain, that's going to be a factor. A wet weekend across the East, at least a wet start to your weekend. A little bit better as the weekend goes on. Here's what we're looking at right now. A wide swath of rain, maybe some snow here, northern portions of New England, near the Great Lakes. There's just enough cold air to make snow get all the way down to the ground. But you notice Syracuse, you're at 34 degrees. We can zoom in across Ohio here. The rain is really ending around Cincinnati, but it's about to pick up in intensity around Columbus. So if you're making your way to your friend's house, getting ready to watch the big game for tonight, slow down on the roads. There could be some hydroplaning for you. As you look towards the southeast, it's really this one main band that we've been focusing in on with the heaviest rain, but widespread shower activity in Knoxville, Charlotte, eventually Columbia. You're going to see some of those showers too. Steadier stuff though along this band south of I-20, now south of Atlanta, south of Birmingham. But if you're heading towards Columbus, Georgia, that rain is knocking on the doorstep for you. So where does all this go from here? Well, we can see that this upper level feature is quickly moving towards the north and east and bringing that moisture, the pinks and the blue colors there along with it. And so although the moisture is getting pulled north, once that system and the cold front move off the northeast corridor, we will lose some of that moisture. We'll also usher in the cooler air. So it's a hit or miss type thing, right? If you like the warmth in the southeast, but you don't like the rain, well, now you're losing the rain, but you're also losing the warmth. So get ready for more seasonable temperatures. Today, with that front, it's rain across the southern states. On again, off again showers until that front clears your neck of the woods. We're also looking at the northeast corridor. That's closer to that area of low pressure. Chances for heavier precipitation, especially near the coast. In fact, heavy rain for D.C. tonight, New York, and especially Boston. Boston and east towards the Cape could see 1 to 2 inches of rain. So Boston, we're looking at steady rains here, right? All the way through the day, we're looking at rain and really picking up this evening, so be careful if you're traveling later tonight through the southeast. This rain will be exiting quite quickly as we run this model, and once that cold front goes through, your rain chance is done. Paul, over to you.
Well, speaking of rain, what a week it has been in California. Historic rain swamped the San Diego area. Take a look at this car here. In fact, more than 2.5 inches of rain fell, but a U.S. Marine was in the right place at the right time, coming to the rescue of a woman trapped in this flooded car. Bridget Nasso has the story.
The water is rising at the underpass outside of Gate 4 at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot. Closed because of heavy rain and flooding, a woman driving her van gets caught in the water trying to get through.
The van was submerged,
pretty much submerged completely underwater.
Lance Corporal Jason Martin, a police officer on base, has gone outside to check the area when he sees a trapped vehicle. His flashlight reveals a woman inside.
She was in the back seat, standing up in the van, and the water was up to her neck, and she was like choking on water and panicking.
He says one thing went through his mind.
She needed help, and I need to get to her before things get worse.
Worse because the storm water kept rushing in.
When I got in the water, it was up to my chest level, about here. I'm 6'3", I'm a tall guy, so it's pretty high up.
He calmed the woman to unlock the door, but the water was heavy and Martin had to brace himself to get in.
Anchoring my foot behind the wheel, I was pulled on the door. Took me a couple of tries, but eventually I was able to muscle it and just pull it open.
He says that's when she told him she couldn't swim. Using his marine training, including deep water training, the Lance Corporal told her to hold on.
So she got on my back, and I pretty much just waded back over to the steps.
Minutes later, the van is completely underwater.
I wouldn't really consider myself a hero, just me doing my job.
A job that put this Marine at the right place at the right time.
All right, happy ending to that story there. Let's talk about what caused all that flooding. The heavy rain here in California. Although this is the rainy season, we saw rain stretching all the way from San Diego all throughout the state. But the bullseye in terms of the heaviest rain were helped by some mountains here around Los Angeles, also Santa Maria into the Central Coast, but also here in Northern California. This is the bullseye. Many areas have got 3 to 5 to 6 to 8 inches of rain. That's still causing some flood concerns as well. Now on the radar right now, we're not seeing a whole lot of rain. Scattered showers here passing by the Central Valley and into Sacramento, but also the Gold Country, the hills. Again, the mountains can still wring out more rain here across the Sierra Nevada mountains, and we're seeing a little bit of snow. Snow level still pretty high, above past level, about 7,500 feet to 8,000 feet. We could see some snow, but not the heavy snow we saw earlier in the week. Also, all the passes are open. Even Kirkwood, the ski resort, not quite open, but they're seeing plenty of snow as they top out well over 9,000 feet. Now, the model will call for a few rain showers passing on through today. Then we'll see a mixture of clouds and sun in through Sunday before this mess starts coming our way as we head towards Monday. But there's a bigger storm lurking our way as we head on towards the middle and end of next week. Mark?
Well, there's a lot of great football to check out this weekend. The ACC Championship between Florida State and Georgia Tech is just one of those matchups. From tailgaters to the teams, we're going to look at how the weather is going to affect all the big games.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, slight chance of a rain shower. High 78, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hi, I'm new Ensure Active Clear Protein Drink.
Clear, huh?
I'm not juice or fancy water. I've got 8 grams of protein.
New Ensure Active Clear Protein. 8 grams protein, 0 fat. Ensure. Take life in.
Consequence number 5, the sleepless night. Sorry. Robitussin DMX Nighttime's dual-action liquid instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Robitussin, don't suffer the consequences.
Under the roof of a home or business, damage can happen. When it does, turn to the specialists who put help in the palm of your hand. The Ready app and emergency response plans from 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
This holiday season, remember to give back to your companions. Petco has thousands of gifts on sale, like Natural Balance dog treats, cans, and tubs. Buy 2, get 1 free. Plus, earn 5% back with Pals Rewards. Joy, love, pets. Petco.
What are you doing?
The dishes are clean. Just gotta scrape the rest of the food off them.
Ew.
Dish issues? Cascade Platinum powers through your toughest messes better than the competition the first time. Cascade, now that's clean.
So we have some special guests today to tell us all about the season's hottest toys.
Who else? Kids. This is KJ. KJ, how are you enjoying Leap TV? Did you just say it's just for kids? It's educational and Melissa?
Julia is playing with the Go-Go My Walking Pup. What do you think, Julia?
Good puppy, good puppy.
Okay, well, there you go. Clearly, they're excited that Walmart has the hottest toys.
Get special financing when you use your Walmart credit card. More ways to Christmas joy. Walmart.
At the end of the day, my hands are beat up.
Especially during the winter times, hands are splitting, cracking, making it very difficult to do my job.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
Best stuff we've ever used.
It just works.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Average women's tees versus a gawking gopher. Duluth Trading Longtail tees versus a gawking gopher. The Duluth Longtail tee. 2 extra inches to defend your back end. Get one. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Hey, have some creative fun with
Squishy Sand
from Wham-O. Wham-O has brought kids of all ages fun for years. Now they bring you Squishy Sand. It's the amazing new kind of sand that's made for playing indoors. Squishy Sand sticks together, so cleanup is fast and easy. With Squishy Sand, you and your friends can make anything. Squishy Sand is non-toxic and made for kids ages 5 and up. Available at fine retailers everywhere. Must be 18 or older to order.
Well, good morning, Norman, Oklahoma. Looking live on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. Waking up to some clouds around there, some fog earlier, but we do expect the clouds to linger for today's Bedlam game. It's the huge rivalry against the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and I look for temperatures in the 50s. And again, last 10 games, the Sooners have won 9 of those. So I guess by default, I have the root for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Seems though my Longhorns beat the Cowboys, Sooners beat the Longhorns. Yeah. All right, let's talk about a lot of games going on, a lot of championship games as well. The Conference USA Championship in Huntington, West Virginia. Well, not the best for the players or the fans. Steady rain coming down throughout the afternoon, and temperatures also steadily dropping into the 40s. And then as we head towards this afternoon, here's Bedlam here. Temperatures stay in the 50s. Plenty of cloud cover. It will not be raining, but it'll be on the cool side. Almost ideal conditions for the players, not dealing with rain or sun or the heat as well. And then inside the Georgia Dome at 72. Outside in Atlanta, got some rain showers. The last day in the 60s here, and then the rain starts clearing out as we head on towards the evening hours, and cooler weather comes in for the SEC Championship. Our next game takes you on towards Waco. There's no Big 12 Championship game this year, but yeah, this is definitely for all the marbles for Baylor, that's for sure. K-State comes into Waco, and we got sunshine, and then temperatures start to fall when the sun sets later on this afternoon. And another big-time championship game going on, the ACC Championship. Florida State versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech coming off of a huge win last week. The weather, not ideal. Perhaps the rain could favor Georgia Tech's ground game, which, talking about this team hasn't lost a game in about 2 years. That's the 8 o'clock kickoff in Charlotte, and rain definitely in the forecast as temperatures drop to the 50s. And then our last game here, as second to last game we're going to talk about, is a Big Ten Championship. Wisconsin going on to take Ohio State in Indianapolis inside. Again, 70 degrees in Lucas Oil Stadium. Outside temperatures drop in the low 30s by the end of the game. And then our last game here on the board is the Mountain West Championship in Boise, Idaho. We're talking about the Bulldogs of Fresno State. They'll be playing in the 40s as they go on to take on the Boise State Broncos on the Smurf turf out here in Boise. But definitely weather could have a big impact on some of these games, but also weather has an impact on what's going on the slopes. Mark?
Yeah, lots of people heading to the ski resorts this time of year. So in today's Weather in Play, we head to Steamboat Springs, Colorado. In the past 24 hours, they've received a fresh quarter-inch of snow and about a half an inch in the last 2 days, which is adding to the base now, which is over 2 feet already. It's a great weekend to head to the slopes, so let's check out the forecast for Steamboat, where, you know what, it's not too bad at all in Steamboat Springs. Cloudy skies on Saturday, right? Temperatures in the mid-40s. Sunday near 40, but notice those nighttime lows. Plenty cold enough to get the ski maker, the snowmakers going, right? Low to mid-20s, plenty cold enough to get the man-made snow going, even if Mother Nature isn't cooperating. How about we go now to Wachusett Mountain Ski Area? That's over in Princeton, Massachusetts. Just over an hour, just over an inch of fresh snow, I should say, in the last 72 hours. A pretty scene there. They have a base of about a foot, more snow on tap today, so that's not too shabby at all. Across the Wachusett Mountain area, there will be some rain, though. As temperatures get up to near 40 degrees on Saturday, there will be that chance that some of that base is eroded away, some sloppy ski conditions, but then the cold air moves back in. Upper 20s at night, Sunday near 30 for your high. So again, even though Mother Nature isn't playing along, the snowmakers will be working fine. And how about at Killington Ski Resort in Vermont, picking up about an inch of fresh snow in the last 48 hours. That is a live picture from Killington. Visibility is way down. There's some fog moving in through the area because there's some warm air moving on top of that snowpack. They've had so far this season about 2 feet of snow. Some more flakes expected today as well. In fact, a rain-snow mix today with mid-30s, but then the real cold air comes in. And so again, skiing should be fine once we get that rain out of the way. Paul, over to you.
Well, a powerful winter system is headed to the East Coast to kick off your week, and with it, freezing rain, sleet, even snow. We're going to time out this wintry blast coming up, and also how much snow will fall in places like New York City and even Philly.
Weather in Play brought to you by Audi, proud sponsor of the U.S. ski team.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
Attention corn farmers. Corn prices have plummeted and sales are down as a result of China's ban on U.S. corn and corn products. Syngenta introduced a GMO corn strain that may have contaminated the U.S. corn supply and hurt you or your business. If you've suffered economic impact as the price of U.S. corn has decreased, you may be able to recover your losses. Call Sokolov Law at 1-800-839-4141 for a free legal consultation. Again, that's 1-800-839-4141. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Golf's past 2 decades have been the most unique in the history of the game. Now, in a commemorative edition, Golf Channel chronicles the icons, the moments, and the trends that will influence the game for decades to come. Just in time for the holiday season, the Golf Book is the perfect gift for every golfer on your list. Order yours today at golfchannel.com/thegolfbook.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Can I have a hot chocolate?
We'll all have hot cocoa.
Ma'am, need a strong pot of Joe.
The all-new Keurig 2.0.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With Hershey's Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
If you have Medicare Part D, you could be at the corner of, I'm throwing away money, and I had no idea. Well, Walgreens has your back. Our expert pharmacists make it easy for you to save on your prescriptions, so you can keep your money where it belongs. Swing by Walgreens, where you could save even more with Medicare prescription copays as low as $0. At the corner of happy and healthy.
The clock is ticking, so let's grab the list and go to town. You don't need a lot of this to make someone feel like that, especially if you give them one of these. Holiday to-dos? Let's get them done today at the one place that can help us bring it all home. That's How to Holiday. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Buy a combo kit and get up to $150 toward any cordless power tool, radio, or battery.
At Ancestry, we call it a hint. Our little leaf that helps guide you through the past. Simply type in a name and you're taken on a journey. A journey that crosses generations and continents. All to tell the most amazing story. Yours. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
Ever since Daryl's wife started using Gain Flings, their laundry smells more amazing than ever.
Honey, isn't that the dog's towel?
What is a vacation? A slice of time, a peace of mind, a break, an escape, that need you want. It's the place you dream of. It's paradise. It's romance. It's choices. All included, all unlimited. Forget what you left behind. Live the now. No schedules, all desires. Night falls, day breaks, you wake up beautiful. Different, connected. Two hearts, one soul. This is the time of your life. This is Sandals. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
No matter how much I loved my mother or my sisters or my wife, none of that mattered because they always came second to heroin. Everything did.
I didn't know at the time the power that the drugs had over him, and I was so afraid of losing him, and I knew enough about B-Hop, and I knew what they could do. To me, it's amazing. It's almost like I wish somebody would pinch me and make sure that, I'm not dreaming.
If someone you know is struggling with drug or alcohol addiction, please call or visit us at interventionnow.com.
Call right now. To order your Lipozene, call 1-800-997-4948. That's 1-800-997-4948.
Every Sunday, the Titans of weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Hey, check this out. This is winter in China right now. Blowing snow has been so heavy that many people weren't able to get out and clear the streets for a while.
Yeah, state media reports that snow resulted in the deaths of hundreds of livestock. It also damaged crops and hundreds of houses. People are digging out across China.
Yeah, and again, people are complaining here that we just have some rain instead of all that snow. It could be a lot worse.
Although some of that rain is now turning into some freezing rain in the Northeast corridor. So for your winter weather update, let's go to Dr. Greg Postel in the lab.
Guys, thank you very much. That's right. We do have some freezing rain and some snow reports across parts of northern New England and northern New York State. Let's have a look at the radar. Burlington, Vermont, and the Champlain Valley got some light rain, 34 degrees there, but just a little bit of elevation to their east, Montpelier, snow, and to the west in Lake Placid, New York, we got some snow. And of course in northern New Hampshire. But this is the part that makes me a little bit nervous here with those radar echoes sort of picking up the possibility of some freezing rain in there. It's trying to figure out in the algorithm if indeed that's rain or freezing rain. And I'm getting some reports even up in Maine here that indeed there is freezing rain. And that's probably along the I-95 corridor just to the north of Lewiston. So Portland right now, a little drizzle, but you go inland a little bit and you got some freezing rain. think that will be over by later on this afternoon. Temperatures should come up above freezing largely everywhere, but there may be some snow left over in its wake in far northern New England and northern New York State through tonight. Then we got to turn our attention really to next week, because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, long duration. This is a pretty big storm that is kind of lining up toward this area, and we do think it's going to be rain on the coast on Tuesday and a mixture of rain and or snow in the interior, and the same for Wednesday. This map doesn't change a whole lot. More rain and snow. There's going to be a lot of moisture with this system. It's going to bring in a lot of juice from the Atlantic, and so watch out. There's going to be a big storm here, and the higher elevations out here in New England could get a lot of snow, whereas I think the coast is going to be largely rain. The models are now fairly certain in a significant dip in the jet stream. Each one of these lines is a different forecast of the jet stream for next Tuesday. A few days ago, the models were all over the place. They've now really zoned in on the idea that there'll be a big coastal storm moving up about like that. And if you're familiar with coastal storms that move up about like that, you know that they're going to bring rain with them, especially along the coast, because as this system comes in from the northwest, it's not all that cold, but it's going to trigger powerful development, I think, off the Carolina coast by about Tuesday. And that thing goes along a trajectory about like that, meaning on the east side, it's going to wrap in some warmth and moisture that's going to get inland west of 95 into places like even Worcester probably see rain. At least that's what the data is saying. Albany probably even gets into rain at some point, if not a mixture of rain and snow. So there is a lot there that suggests at least the southeastern half of this is going to be rain, and the higher elevations in northern Pennsylvania, northern New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, that's where the snow is going to be. And there could be a lot of it because of how much moisture this is going to pull in, maybe as much as a foot there. But again, stay tuned. A little wiggle in the track could make a big difference in the outcome, and we'll have all that as the data rolls in. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Doc. And another big story we're following is Typhoon Hagupit making landfall a short while ago. The storm could end up displacing millions of people in the Philippines.
In fact, this superstorm could be a big deal in terms of getting a hold of people. So now we're turning to social media to see if people are doing okay. In fact, our Bonnie Schneider has been checking and following social media. And Bonnie, how are people doing with this typhoon upon them?
Well, it's thank goodness for social media, because that's been really the way people have been communicating. In fact, I've been communicating with one person via Facebook since early this morning, and he's in Philippines in the province of Eastern Samar. His name is Edwin Rivero Sigaral, and looking at some of the pictures he sent us, you can see the wind kind of rustling through the trees in the early stages of the storm. He sent another picture as well. That's a basketball court in the distance and some of the homes in the area where he is, and certainly some of the rain coming in. But I did ask him via text message of several questions, like where is he and what's the situation there? And take a look at these text messages, because they kind of broke up a lot. He did not have power, did not have much cell service, so we had to communicate through text. And he says the typhoon, the local name here is Ruby, and landfall's happening at this moment in time. I asked him, where is he? He said, we're inside the house. And then I said, well, who's with you? And he said, my family. And going through his Facebook page, that encompassed a wife and at least 2 daughters. Then I asked him to explain the situation, and here's what he said. Very strong wind and rains all over the province, and many roofs from houses are flying, and it's so dark. The sound of the winds is loud, almost like Haiyan, which was called Yolanda, that's the local name, last year. So, people there have memories of this storm, and now they're reliving it again. Hopefully everyone is safe, and I appreciate the social media contributions we've been getting here at the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 64. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine. High 78. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, look at this. Something that you don't want to run into today. Rain. Rains on the East Coast, and you cannot let your guard down while traveling with all of this mess on the roads. Hydroplaning a real danger. We'll show you who could get as much as 2 inches of rain.
I'm meteorologist Reynolds Wolf, coming to you from beautiful Asheville, North Carolina, where we've got the signs of the season everywhere, and the signs of, well, a disturbance that may cause bigger problems in days to come for parts of the Northeast, potentially affecting millions of Americans.
That's right, Reynolds. In fact, we do need to warn you about the strong possibility of yet another winter storm in the works. You're looking live right now in New York City, one of the places that will be affected. How wide-ranging this storm could be and when it could impact your town, that's right now, right here on Weather Center Live.
And welcome back to Weather Center Live. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. We want to see what you're dealing with today in terms of the weather, so send us pictures of how the weather's impacting your weekend plans. In fact, Earl Irwin sent this picture from Fort Myers. A beautiful sunrise this morning. All looks calm out there. Another gorgeous day ahead of a lot of people in this historic Florida town.
Yeah, sunshine today, low 80s. The cold front well too far to the north to give you any rain across that neck of the woods. But that front is moving through the southeast, an area of low pressure in the northeast. So we've got plenty of messy weather to talk about, and that's where we're going to kick things off. The northeast first, with Boston, New York, Philly, and D.C. all getting rain today. As much as 2 inches of rain expected in many of these locations, but widespread rainfall totals near an inch from the southeast all the way up I-95. So plans are going to be kind of thrown up in the air today. If they were outside, you might be trying to get indoor plans to replace them now. Here's a look at the radar, right? We're seeing pretty steady rains in eastern Ohio, central PA, down through Maryland. You're seeing that rain. New York City, just cloudy skies, as is D.C., but that will be changing before too much longer. The rain's already arrived in Boston. A quick look down south. Paul's going to have more on this line of showers, but the southeast is not immune from this either. Steady rains for you today as well. So here's the bigger picture, right? We've zoomed out. We're looking down from above. The pinks and blues on this map, that is the amount of moisture in the air. And the blue is one of those really more moist areas. And that's just showing you that this storm system is feeding in that tropical moisture, bringing it up I-95. So once the rain begins, we're going to have a hard time getting rid of it. And that's been the theme this year in D.C., right? You're more than 4 inches above average for precipitation for the year. But since the calendar turned into December, it's just been brutal. You've seen a trace of rain or more every day since the calendar turned. And today will be no exception for the D.C. area, as we've got all kinds of rain on the way. In fact, we can model this out for you. The rain is knocking on the doorstep already. And as we use our high-resolution modeling, you can see that D.C. will be in and out of the showers through much of the day. New York, you stay in the rain until the late night hours, and Boston and the Cape, it lasts even into the wee hours of Sunday morning, and that's where some of the rainfall totals will be the heaviest. Again, widespread reports of up to an inch, but notice here along the Cape, southern Rhode Island, maybe the eastern side of Long Island, you too could see 1 to 2 inches of rain as the ocean gives you a little bit of assistance. So D.C., the streak is alive, right? You're going to see the showers continuing on and off through the day, at times of steady rain, and the winds picking up out of the north by the evening as well. Paul.
Well, speaking of rain, we still have rain all across the southeast as well. It will be that way for the rest of today. So our Reynolds Wolf is in a rainy Asheville, North Carolina, where the holidays are in full swing despite all the rain. Reynolds?
Well, you're right. We have had some scattered showers through here. We certainly have the clouds. Clouds are eventually going to lift out by tomorrow, so a better forecast at hand. But today is one of the days we're concerned with. Big shopping weekend, big tourism weekend here in Asheville, and a lot of people might have some questions about what to do. Well, we've got Marla Tambolini with us. And Marla, I know this is what you do for a living. You give people ideas to what they can do to make the most of their time
We
here.
want them to come and have an enjoyable, lovely time in Asheville. Of course, it's a great mountain town, but when you have a little bit of weather, there are plenty of things to do inside. We like to say Asheville's a great place of discovery, both inside and out.
Sure.
This time of year, Biltmore Estate, of course, any time is a great time to visit Biltmore, but this time of year, it's dressed in all of its holiday fine Winery. Just a really beautiful and great family experience. The Omni Grove Park Inn Resort hosts the National Gingerbread House Competition each year. Hundreds of wonderful, amazing gingerbread creations that you can visit inside, and then also, sit back and enjoy their large, beautiful, grand old fireplaces. Of course, we're a great farm-to-table community, so our independent restaurants would love to, be able to serve some of our, innovative dishes. Our craft breweries are a great place, and of course, we have festivals going on each weekend. So a lovely place to come this time of year.
Well, like to see, like to eat, like to enjoy. Thanks so much. All right, guys, there's some ideas. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Reynolds. Well, Atlanta this morning, well, the rain probably still has you in bed. Wish we could be there. But still, this is going to be your last gloomy day for a while. That's the good news. You can see a live look at Bobby Dodd Stadium, Georgia Tech. They're actually in Charlotte, also dealing with rain this morning because of the ACC Championship. It's also one of the Olympic Flames sitting there right next to the connector. Well, let's talk about the weather across the Atlanta area. Temperature right now at 60 degrees. Rain coming in, the warmest you've been so far today. We might even make it to the mid-60s this afternoon as the rain pushes on out. But that's it. We have several days of 70s this week. The warm weather and the wet weather ending today across the region. Again, as the cold front pushes the rain out, we'll start seeing the cooler air come in and things drying up. Sunshine tomorrow, but about 10 degrees colder as well. So the forecast this evening, the rain being squeezed by this cold front pushing offshore as this stalls out. This system playing a factor into the snow we could see in the northeast New England as we head on to the beginning of next week. But overall, the northerly winds, northwesterly winds come in. That's a cold wind. It's going to cool us down, also dry us out as we head to this weekend as well. So the rain, hit and miss. I think the heaviest rain continues to push east of Atlanta right now, but it's still not done here in the Carolinas by far. Hit-miss showers this afternoon. This evening starts to dry out. But again, the wind and the cooler air start coming in as well. So, yeah, the 70s not going to be a deal here across the Atlanta or Birmingham as we head through this weekend and this week as well. Atlanta, your forecast. Rain starts to taper off. Hit-and-miss showers out there right now, but then we clear out and get windy and cold. It sticks around for your Sunday as well. Birmingham, rain showers also ending this afternoon, and then cooler and drier as we head overnight into tomorrow as well. And also, as we head on towards Charlotte, rain showers all afternoon and evening long, slowly ending by the time, say, third quarter for the ACC Championship game there tonight. Mark?
So yeah, if there's any leaves left on your trees in the southeast, they might be knocked off this weekend. Of course, up the East Coast, we're looking at a potential winter storm, but it's a very tricky forecast. So we're going to analyze the potential path and the potential impacts from this questionable storm.
This program brought to you by the Lexus December to Remember sales event is here, now through January 5th.
All clear.
And then Santa's helpers boarded the train and off they went. And that's how we got it. Wow.
The magic of the season is here at the Lexus December to Remember sales event. This is the pursuit